Welcome to the BetMoorSports podcast. I'm your host, Avery Fuller, chilling with my co-host, Stephen Trotman Bay, but you know him as
the Guru.
And we got a special guest in our building today. One of our esteemed entrepreneurs in our area. We call him Nevie, but you can call him Nevie Sessoms. What's up, Nevie?
What's up, man? How you doing?
We here, man. We here. There's a ton to talk about. It's another week at the BetMoorSports Studios, and of course, we got something you don't got. That's the Guru. So keep making that money straight up. But I'm gonna jump right in because it's the NBA Finals, and man, it was historic. The NBA Finals was historic in the worst way, but Golden State still won. Golden State leads the NBA Finals series 3-2 against the Boston Celtics, which a lot of people thought they was gonna win. And Steph Curry ended the day 0 for 9 from the three-pointer. Guru, talk to me.
The worst game of Steph's playoff career, shooting wise, and they still won by double digits.
What does that say?
Golden State in 6.
David, what you think, man?
Hey, man. Boston started out strong, and after game 3, it looked like the life was taken out on.
Yeah, I noticed that Jason Tatum was he seemed timid.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
He seemed like, and it's weird because when I'm on social media, I see a lot of memes and stuff, and one of them was Kobe said, "Why you text me?
Stop texting me."
Leave me alone.
The internet is ruthless.
They don't play no games, but it's weird because the way Boston's been playing, it says a lot about Golden State because I'm going to tell you, Draymond Green is trash. I don't understand what's going on with him. I don't know whether he's having the same Jason Tatum mental block. What you think about how Draymond been playing?
What I say is Draymond set the stage the first couple of games with all those wild antics, those bully mentalities, those antics that he was doing, and then he backed away from it. I think the damage had been done. I think the Celtics, he did what he needed to do.
So you feel like he in their head?
Yes. He accomplished what he set out to accomplish. He took whatever he needed to take for those couple of games, but it's not a race, it's a marathon. I think in the long run, what he did in the beginning is still in their head.
He definitely took, because he ain't giving shit, Guru.
I mean, from a defensive perspective, I agree. You know, I think Boston a little rattled in certain areas, but offensively, I think he might have got in his own head. Because he won't. I mean, he won't take a shot, and when he do take a shot, he hesitates. After he hesitates, it's a brick for sure. I mean, he missing layups, he missing foul shots, he turning the ball over. It's like, I think them winning game 4, right, when Curry made the decision to sit Draymond down the stretch, it kind of woke him up. Because if you notice in game 5, he started off hot.
Right.
You know, he made more field goals than he made the whole series.
He looked good.
He scored more points, really combined, than he scored the whole series. Right. So I think sometimes as a head coach, you got to take one of the catalysts of your team and say, look, man, you're not giving me nothing. I'm going to sit you down. And he set him down, and they made a run. And Draymond was not a bad sport about it. You know, he was on the sideline cheering his teammates on, but it kind of made him aware of the moment.
It humbled him.
Yeah,
right.
It
Exactly.
Perfect way of putting it. He was humble.
Yeah.
And I remember the post-game interview for Game 4 when Golden State won. It was Klay Thompson. He was just saying, we got to get Steph some help. You know what I'm saying? And he got it by the boatload, because my man Andrew Wiggins was like a whole nother player.
He was a number 1 pick, right?
He was. And
right.
He hasn't been living up to that height, but he showed that he could play on both sides of the ball, especially guarding Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's finishing strong, and he's getting boards for at least the last 2 games.
Man.
So I feel like that is substantial, especially when Steph is falling apart. You almost think Steph say, I ain't going to do nothing. And let them step up.
Right.
You know? But with that said, with everything Draymond has been saying and doing, you think Golden State should keep him?
No, not after this year. I think his best basketball days is long gone.
So you think his time is up? Pretty much.
But he has to be replaced because he's a key part of what Golden State does.
So let me ask you this: is it you? I kind of feel like Draymond game needs players like Steph and Clay.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? For him to be successful, and I don't see that anywhere else. So what happens for him if he can't get that?
He's a podcaster.
He's a podcast.
He got his podcast he can lean back on, and he got a job with TNT, and TNT.
Yeah.
So he already signed with them. So he podcasting, and he got a broadcasting career ahead of him. But he's gonna play more basketball, I'm sure. As far as Golden State, I think that his game is kind of like behind him.
Okay.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
What you think Golden State is missing right now?
One more win. That's it, because Andrew Wiggins, his ability now to play as a former number one draft pick is easier because you are surrounded by scores. You're no longer relied upon to score. So if you score, it's just a benefit, it's a plus. It's not needed.
Right.
It's extra.
Because you got two players on the team, Steph and Clay, that can score 40 if they want to, even though Clay hasn't shown up at all in the series. You got other people. You like the third option in the starting lineup offensively.
Yeah.
And the fourth option when Jordan Poole is on the floor. So he can lock in defensively. And that's where they need him. Because a lot of people didn't understand that Golden State was the second best defensive team in the NBA.
Right. Wow.
Boston was the first, but Golden State the second. But Golden State has the best offense in the NBA.
Right.
So when you got, I see a lot of people say defense wins championship. Well, our defense ain't no slouch.
Right.
We got the second best in the league, so we got a defensive-minded team. And if you notice in Game 4, but really every game that Golden State has won, they held Boston under 100 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I watched Jason Tatum shoot 100 air balls just from hand to hand in his face.
Man.
In the other news, Big Dogs TV. You ever heard of him?
No.
So Big Dog TV, he got banned.
I'm the only big dog I know.
He got banned from Golden State because he's the fake Klay Thompson.
Oh, that was the one that dressed up like Clay and did the warm up and the shoot around.
Hey, that's a lifestyle for him, man. That ain't fake. That's what he do.
And he literally got banned, and he bought some $10,000 tickets, and they won't refund him back for that. That's crazy. Like, I mean, you gonna ban me and keep my money?
I'm sure he got over 7 million views on Instagram and YouTube, and so he'll make up the difference somewhere. He'll get that 10 grand back.
Yeah.
He said it was worth it.
Yeah, I seen that part, but I didn't know that's who that was.
So many times when I'm at home and I ain't doing nothing in the morning, I'm watching ESPN, and ESPN First Take aired, and I was watching Stephen A. Smith speak on how he would choose AD, Anthony Davis, over the Joker and Luka. What you think about that?
Not the Joker.
Not the Joker.
Not even Luka.
Oh. Okay, now we talking about a healthy Anthony Davis.
I don't give a damn what you talking about.
Yeah.
You talking about a player who won consecutive most valuable players. Anthony Davis, when healthy, has not won one.
Okay.
Let alone 2 back-to-back.
But I mean, you could argue that Anthony Davis ain't had complete teams like the Joker got, for instance.
Joker team won't complete this year.
Joker team won't complete this year.
Really won't complete last year.
But they've been together long enough to have a rapport to where when one person is sitting down, the other person can just step right into the puzzle. You know what I'm saying? That make a difference when you're playing basketball because it's about connection.
Right.
Right? So I don't feel like Anthony Davis had any of that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when he was with the Pelicans.
His New Orleans teams wasn't bad. The supporting cast wasn't bad.
His New Orleans teams was trash. All they had was him. They had Jaleel Okafor, DeMarcus Cousins.
That's when DeMarcus Cousins was animal in the league.
A dog.
I think that's when he was falling from the dog.
No, that's when they was going back to back. He might score 50. Anthony Davis might score 49 the next day. And the Joker ain't played with nobody of that caliber.
I'm with you on that as well. The Joker, and even when you talk about Anthony Davis, I believe MVP races are born out of individual play.
Right. Absolutely.
So regardless of what what team you got around you, if you excel, you excel.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Anthony Davis hasn't done that as compared to Joker in that regard, in that argument.
Right. And don't get me wrong, I get it, and it's valid. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that from a skill set perspective, on both sides of the ball, is Anthony Davis if he's healthy. But if he's 100%,
see that you threw that caveat in there. If he's healthy, but it's like you got to stay healthy.
Right. That's the biggest thing.
You got to consider that.
And we can't really see what he's capable of from that perspective.
Right.
So I get it. You know what I'm saying? But
Drew Holiday was Anthony Davis' teammate in New Orleans for 6 years.
Okay.
So he had Drew Holiday, and he had DeMarcus Cousins. Right? That's a formidable three at that time. The Joker ain't never had a player of Drew Holiday's caliber.
Is that a formidable three at that time?
Yeah.
In that league?
Yes. There was a playoff team. But what Anthony Davis was unable to do until he got with LeBron was get a team over the hump. Right? Mm-hmm. So basically he falls into the same category of a guy we was talking about last week in DK Metcalf. Are we basing it upon his potential or the fact that because he's done nothing in the league better than Joker?
Right.
For me to say I would take him healthy over Joker.
I just know that it's two sides of basketball. And
okay.
It's two sides of the ball. And at the end of the day, if you can't guard, you can't guard. And I ain't saying Joker is a bad defender. He's just not a great defender.
He's not Anthony Davis on defense.
Right.
But where Joker is offensively, Anthony Davis can't hold a counter to him.
What you just say in regards to Golden State and the Celtics, what win championships?
Defense. Right.
So when it all boils down, one of the reasons that it worked so well with L.A. in the bubble is, I mean, it was in a bubble, but you had Anthony Davis that didn't have to carry the load. He could focus on the defensive side of the ball. And that made a substantial difference. You know what I'm saying? So, but we are speaking from an individual standpoint, and I guess when you think about it, you know, Joker back-to-back MVP, he that for a reason. Yeah. He the most unathletic back-to-back MVP.
Yeah, it's questionable.
but
if I put Joker with LeBron in the bubble, I still see them win the championship. I don't see them not winning the championship with the Joker traded out for Anthony Davis. But I don't see Anthony Davis taking Denver to the playoffs like the Joker can.
Well, I mean,
if they swap roles.
I don't know. It varies because, again, they got the support. And if you got Jamal Murray playing, the chances of them going to the playoffs are much greater.
Yeah, if he's playing, but he went to the playoffs without Jamal Murray at all this year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He ain't played one game.
Yeah.
He had me, you, Nevie, him, and Will Barton.
Hey, I can't even disagree with it because it's like, yeah, it's true. Like, it was definitely limited. You know what I'm saying? And let me ask you this question then: if you would have traded Anthony Davis out for Joker, both healthy, both healthy, and you put Joker on the Lakers with the team that the Lakers had, you think the Lakers would have went to the playoffs
this year?
Yep,
absolutely. I would have been a number one seed.
Ain't no question.
Who gonna stop the Joker? You know how many one-on-ones the Joker see with LeBron on his team?
Yeah.
I don't don't know.
The man made history this year.
He did, and he played 3 positions. He had to.
Yeah, he had to, and he did with it, and he stayed healthy.
I don't know. We'll see, but let's take our first break of the day. You know what I'm saying? We got some NBA out the way. We got some free agency news coming up. We got some NHL Stanley Cup, some MLB. Stay tuned. BetMoorSports. We'll be back. Welcome back to the BetMoorSports podcast. I'm your host, Avery Fuller, with my co-host, Steven Troutman Bay, a.k.a.
The Guru.
And the guest we got in the building today is Nevie Sessoms. Take a look. You know it. One of the primary, once again, entrepreneurs in the 757. Look them up. You're going to get all the information that you need to know about them in a minute. With that said, let's go on jump into some NFL news. Mika Fitzpatrick. He signed a 4-year, $73.6 million deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. What you think about it, Guru?
Good deal.
He worth it?
Congrats. Yeah, Minka one of the top dogs in the league at that position.
I don't disagree. I seen him putting in that work. He was putting in work. Actually, he probably the one of the good spots they got right now compared to everything else. I mean, Najee is the bus size right now, so hopefully that helped them.
Well, he done got bigger.
Oh yeah.
I seen he had a little muscle, but I ain't see him get big as the bus.
He bigger than the bus at this stage in the bus career.
Okay. Don't be running like the bus.
What you think about that deal?
That's a lot of money for a safety.
I play safety, man. I don't want to get a safety's no money.
I don't want to get a safety no money, man. Hey, we got a football team. I'm looking at it like an executive. We got some money that we can spread around, that we can spend in different areas. Yeah, I would like to save a couple of million, few million off of that deal so I can spend somewhere else.
I mean, I can't really knock that, but I guess it's one of those things where the caliber player he is, you know, he may deserve it. I mean, that's what, $23 million a year for safety.
Never, you almost sounded like a Steeler fan. You a Steeler fan?
Nah, I ain't, man. But I'm just a businessman. I'm an executive.
So that made no sense from an executive point of view.
That made no sense from a football standpoint. It's all about the numbers for me.
Okay, yeah, I get it. I mean, I feel like it's good for them. You know, I mean, they needed something.
Minka is their best player.
Good news, right? Exactly. And I mean, at this point, I guess he deserved to be the highest paid safety in NFL history.
History?
We'll see.
We'll definitely see. So Lamar Jackson, he showed up at camp, even though he don't got a deal done yet. Which I believe they probably should have been gave that man a deal. If he ain't proven himself by now, he ain't gonna never prove himself. What you think about them not getting him a deal yet, Guru?
It's Baltimore, man. You know, Baltimore, one of them teams that's slow to do everything. Yeah. And he definitely deserves some money.
Yeah, I don't understand what it is that they're waiting for. Nevie, what you think?
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand that either. It's like, if from what he did from when he got into the league and you know, he had an off season. All right, that's cool, but you see his potential. You see what he's capable of doing. So I don't see what the problem is with giving him a deal.
And I mean, he's an MVP. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is more of a reason for him to have a deal.
So what more you got to do?
Exactly. That's what I don't get. And they have shown their capacity to lose when he's injured. So clearly he's the most valuable player that they have on the team.
Right.
Guru, would you have signed him by now?
Absolutely, because when you lost all your running backs, was your best running back and your best quarterback.
He was everything.
He was
of course,
everything.
Yeah, I'm paying Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, you pay him.
You know, and I applaud Lamar for going about it from a business standpoint. even though me personally, I probably would not have shown up to nothing without a contract. So I salute the brother.
You know, image is everything. You know what I'm saying? I realize that for a lot of players and the way that they're perceived by their fan base and by anybody in general makes a difference. You know, like with DK Metcalf not showing up, it kind of make him look bad.
Yeah, but also too, you look at the players that showed up and they applaud them for me bowing to the system.
Right.
When the team carries you, then the player's supposed to take it.
Right.
Why can't the players choose what they want to do and how they want to go about it without being scrutinized?
Well, from my perspective, when you speak in regards to team, team is beyond the individual. You know what I'm saying? And so while he don't got his deal yet, he still got teammates that he need to build rapport with. You know what I'm saying? That deal don't mean nothing if he can't get along or can't manage his team.
Yeah, but I guess I'm talking more about from the business part of it,
right?
From a organizational money part of it, the business structure. These corporations, they run stuff. When they do stuff outside of the pocket, it's not looked upon badly. But when the players take a stance and say, "Hey, I ain't coming until you deal with my contract," then they look upon as being the bad guy. But the organizations never looked upon when they trade a player in the middle of the night.
Right.
Right. And I mean, I get it, you know, because it's business on both sides. You know what I'm saying? I just know the organization not worried about their image.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
Players, on the other hand, they have a brand that they need to maintain, and a big part of maintaining their brand, you know, if my brand is standing for integrity and, you know, focusing on doing the right thing, then I'm going to approach things that way. No matter how bad business the organization doing, it's about me. And at the end of the day, it's life beyond this organization. And so when you think about it from that perspective, it's like, I need to be a better version of myself, regardless of what they're doing.
I can go for that.
Right.
I can go for that.
My stance kind of in the middle, right? And the reason is because we kind of grew up in an era where this wasn't seen as much. You know, the era we grew up in, everything was kind of founded and formed around team. So, you know, if me and Nevie play on the same team, I got to have his back. Right? I want to be there for my brother, just like he want to be there for me. See, we grew up in that era where contracts wasn't the biggest thing in sports.
Right.
See, right now it's more business. It's less team.
Exactly.
It's less the game of football. It's less, I love this game, so I'm going to go out here and give it my all. It's no more of that.
Right.
Is pay me, right? And I think the problem that I have with some of the players not showing up is the leverage side of it. It's like a lot of times they buck when they have no leverage. If you got 2-3 years left on your contract, you signed that contract,
You agreed to that.
And you got 2-3 years left, you have zero leverage.
Right.
Now I understand if you're in your last year of your rookie deal, because the rookies are only allowed to sign for a certain amount.
Right.
Or if you're in the last year of a deal that maybe you're far and above your bottom line number. Like you're worth $25 million, but you signed a contract and you're in the last year and you're only getting $5 million.
That's correct.
But the highest at your position is getting paid $25 million. You in the top 3, then yeah, hold out. But if you got 3 years left on a deal, 2 years left on a deal, when the organization is gonna say, all right, you hold out, I'm just fine you.
And somebody did that recently within the last couple of years. That was like they had like 2-3 years on their contract, and they was trying to force a new contract, and you out of pocket because, like you said, you signed that contract.
It's weird because people feel like because they outperform their contract that they should get a new one. And I understand you outperformed it. You played great. But did you play great for that year? Show that you deserve that contract and finish out the one that you got. Because if you plan the way that you plan and you can finish the one that you got, then you deserve that contract.
Right. And also in the midst of you signing that contract, we formed a team based upon those numbers.
Right.
We didn't form the team based upon paying you $30 million more.
Right. Going outside of what we.
Exactly.
Right.
So a lot of times you gotta factor all that in the business aspect, because if I say, okay, we got him for cheap, now we can go sign 2-3 players
That's right.
at max deal type of contracts and make a team that's competitive. Now, if you have an excellent year, now you say, no, I want this money.
Right.
Now we can't sign
Right.
everybody that we need to sign. You
numbers.
messing up the structure of the team.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So I get it on both ends.
Okay. I
No,
can go for that.
Something that stand out is it's more business and less team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And on the opposite note, Kyler Murray, he didn't show up to minicamp at all until the last meeting. What you think about that? Because he wanted a new deal, and I mean, I think he might be due for one. But do he deserve it yet?
He's another one playing on a rookie deal, ain't he?
Yes,
Yes,
he
absolutely.
is.
Right. He needs a new contract, but at the same time, they say Kyler Murray is a poor teammate. He's a poor leader, and he's the quarterback.
And that's
So-
not a good look.
Right. So it's certain things that he needs to do to gain the trust of his teammates,
Right.
to gain the trust of the organization. Right. So even if you want a new deal, show up. Well, they ain't tackling the quarterback at practice.
Right.
You know what I mean? He ain't doing nothing to put himself really in risk of injury. He's not a running back. He's not an offensive lineman. He's not a defensive lineman or somebody who is banging. They're going to protect him at all costs at practice.
Right.
Right? So he is the most important to the team. He got new receivers. He got a receiver that's suspended for the first 5-6 games. So him showing up is important from so many different angles.
So let's play GM.
Mm-hmm.
And this question for both of y'all. Who would you sign first, Lamar or Kyler?
I'm signing the one with the MVP.
Nevie?
Lamar.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree. Truthfully, I don't feel like Kyler Murray outplayed his contract. I feel like he was a number one pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he met the expectations of a number one pick. But I don't feel like he excelled enough where he took his team to another level of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. He was given the number one receiver in the league.
Mm-hmm.
He was given the top, 5 or top 10 tight end in the league. He had 2 pretty good running backs. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he had a substantial amount of support to where he could be successful. But I don't feel like he outplayed that contract.
He's a franchise quarterback. I think he should be paid like a franchise quarterback and no longer like a rookie.
Now, something that I do notice is that a lot of ego go into these holdouts.
Right.
Because players like Kyler Murray, let me not say players like Kyler Murray, but players in general. Some players are hold out because they want to be the top paid player in that position.
Right.
And they're not the top player in that position. You know what I'm saying? But they still holding out based on that. And these teams, they start getting them that money. And as soon as one team give in, it's like every team give in.
Exactly.
Stupid. Makes no sense. But, like you say, Nevie, it's business.
Hey, I'm sorry. I mean, I come from a business standpoint, and I try to, bridge the gap between understanding the business side and the player side. Even when I deal with my employees, the business side and the employee side,
Right.
and try to find that middle ground. So I get it. It's a hard thing to juggle. So I mean, I can dig it.
So in Giants news, Saquon Barkley, he stated that he's back. The man, the myth, the legend, Saquon is live and direct. This is his the end of his rookie deal. So at this point in time, he's looking at getting money. Guru, let me ask you: do you think Saquon is back?
I can only take a man at face value. He say he back. We're going to see, But first, I want to say this is not Giant news. This is NFL news. Don't introduce Minka Fitzpatrick as NFL news Lamar Jackson is NFL news. Kyler Murray is NFL news. And then you mentioned Saquon Barkley as Giants news. This is major NFL news. That a man who was drafted number 2 in the draft that was explosive before the injury says he's back, right? I want to see because he was an exciting player prior to the injury.
Definitely was an exciting player, but keyword in that is was.
Right, and the coaches said they're going to move him around and get him in open space, and we're going to see. You know, it's a lot of talk in the preseason and in the offseason about what's going to take place and what's going to happen. Then you get to the games, and they look like the same old Giants. Mm-hmm. He looked like the same old Saquon that's getting tackled in the backfield, and then everything just looks the same. But he said he kind of rushed back from his injury, and he didn't feel comfortable. And I can understand playing with injuries to lower extremities, how it may affect you mentally, especially when your number one claim to fame is your explosiveness, right?
Okay.
He's an explosive runner. So if he is hesitant on his knee, and now he said he's no longer hesitant, we'll see.
All right. Hey, listen,
I'm not excited.
I'm excited to watch Saquon play.
Right.
I just hope that he is the Saquon that got his first touch and broke for 60 yards. You know, because that was substantial when that happened. When that happened, I was like, oh, it's a problem. It's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. And then trade me can you trade me Saquon?
Yeah, you remember?
Yeah.
But then he got touched again and fell apart like a puzzle. So you know, I just hope the Giants don't put so much on his shoulders.
Overuse him.
Right, because number one, his position is probably the most brutal position on offense. You know what I'm saying? Every time he touches the ball, he getting tackled unless he get break. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference maker. So I just hope that they take the time and manage his time. If they could get another back out there that can, you know, maybe swap, you know, that they can put in place of him, maybe a third down back or something that don't keep him on the field as often as he's been, where his probability of getting injured has shown to be higher than anything else. And I feel like the Giants would be a pretty good team, especially if they start Tyrod Taylor. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Hey, the Giants might be coming out of the NFC East.
It's getting close.
Is really back. You know what I'm saying? If he's really back, y'all still got Kenny Galladay, right?
Yep.
If he's really
and we
back,
got the Joker, the other Joker.
Who is that?
Stay tuned. Now you're gonna see. You're gonna see who the Joker is.
Right, exactly. I was like, you talking about Yoshi?
I'm talking about Debo Samuel twin.
Kadarius Toney.
Kadarius Toney. You know he's a Joker too.
Yeah. Just make sure he don't come to San Francisco. We had that conversation before. All right, so let's switch gears and let's go to baseball. One of the biggest things that has stood out this week that I've seen is the Guerreros senior and junior, Vladimir Jr. and Vladimir Sr. They both at 403 games had 87 home runs, and on base percentage was
the same,
exactly the same. .63.
RBIs was exactly the same.
Right, like it's extremely interesting how that works, right? Because his dad is a Hall of Famer, and he already trending.
Oh, Vlad Jr. gonna be a Hall of Famer if he stay healthy.
It's crazy, man. I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? Because number one, he's a slugger. My man got them hands on that bat, slugging them. But how you think that? What do you think that says about him and his career up to date?
Like father, like son. Like I'm a huge Vlad Jr. fan. And I think Vlad Jr. gonna be better than his daddy.
Oh, that says a lot.
I would say he's already better than his daddy, but they got the same identical stats.
There's no evidence to support the claim.
That's crazy.
What about you, Nevie?
That's crazy to see the bloodline.
Yeah, it's in the
blood. Is in the blood. That's just not by accident. That's DNA. That's genetics. And it's like when you see that, you know, we have something similar going on in 7x7 with David Selby in the river. You know, his daughter is a junior, I think, in track, and she won the district, the regional, and the state. So when you talk about bloodline,
Yeah.
it's like, yo,
And that says a lot. Like, you know, when you're a athlete, especially a successful athlete, and you got kids, you invest that time into your kids. It's so much you can get out of them. It's almost like it's evident that if you invest the time in your kids, you'll get what you're trying to get out of them.
yeah.
Right.
Well, hey, I'm all for it. Just hope my son can get on his P's and Q's. All right, so the Atlanta Braves on 13-game win streak. Guru, what is that saying?
It ain't saying much long as the Yankees playing the way they playing, but you know the Braves won the championship last year,
Yeah.
and they started this season off like some trash, like they couldn't beat nobody. And I was trying to figure them out at the beginning of the season. I was betting them, and they was losing to any and everybody they could play.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, how can we bet the Braves? But you best believe I've been riding this 13-game winning streak. I've been riding it for each one of these 13 games. I've been betting the Braves. So, you know, they've been good to me.
At one time, the Yankees on a 13-game streak too, right?
The Yankees been on so many streaks that we can't even keep up. The Yankees is almost at 50 wins in this June.
I love it.
But did you also notice that the Phillies, once they fired Joe Girard, they won like 8-9 straight.
I seen that.
I did not notice that.
I seen
And
that.
now they are back
crazy.
above 500.
I seen that.
That is
Not
crazy.
a good look for the coach, right?
Mm-mm.
Not a good look for the coach.
That's not a good look, but
Yeah.
it is also a good look for his replacement because from the look side, it's like whoever they put in his place know what they talking about, and Girardi won't listen to him.
And he didn't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. He probably could have saved his job had he listened to a support system.
Who was the other coach that got fired for the Phillies?
That was Joe Girard, and then it was the Angels. Joe Madden got fired.
Joe Madden.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
they
the
still
other one-
playing like trash.
Okay. That's
They ain't
what-
done
I
no
know
better.
It was two on. Both of them
Yeah.
name was Joe.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So this is a question for both of y'all, and this is kind of in between football and baseball news. From an athletic perspective, or not even athletic, or overall player perspective, who do you think was the best athlete? Bo Jackson or Deion Sanders? And they play both sports.
That's a tough one. I'm gonna let Nevie go at that one first, man. That's a tough
Oh
one.
man, and you know I'm gonna have to put my bias aside because I was a heavy Bo Jackson fan. Bo knows.
Bo
Bo
knows.
knew.
Mm-hmm.
And Bo did it all, but I have to give the edge to Deion for longevity.
Okay.
Longevity make a substantial difference.
Yeah.
Right.
Bo was more explosive and dynamic in his time when he was doing what he was doing, but Deion sustained.
Right.
That makes sense.
That's
I get
kind of like my argument with Biggie Smalls and Jay-Z.
There it is.
You know,
What?
There it is. No, that is valid.
because I can't say that Big is the greatest of all time if he only had two albums. And Jay been doing it since 95 to 2025.
So while I understand your plight, I believe Biggie is the greatest of all time because of his impact. So you got to understand that a lot of the things that we say and do, even today,
Mm-hmm.
is because of Biggie.
Okay.
Terms like haters, they
Yeah.
came from Biggie.
Yeah.
No,
Player.
Biggie
haters, yeah.
Biggie brought charisma to rapping,
He did.
and guess what Jay-Z did? He adapted that.
Right, and he made it sustain the same as what Deion did in this comparison between Bo and Deion.
You want to know what it's equivalent to?
What's that?
Jordan and Kobe.
Nah.
No.
I'm
No.
just saying.
no.
Listen,
Them two more alike than anything.
when you're a game changer, you're a game changer, and Biggie was a game changer.
He
Yeah, but
was.
Kobe, I don't think Kobe had that. He was always in the shadow, it seemed like.
Right, but Jay took Biggie's style pretty much
He-
and made it his own.
I
I
don't
don't know
think he
about
took
the
his style.
I don't know about the style.
Jay-Z went from rapping fast
He did.
to rapping slow with charisma,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and he got that directly from Biggie. And I think that's a difference maker. it's kind of like even Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne switched his whole style up too. He was rapping like the rest of Cash Money. Then he switched it up and added charisma to his flow, and then his whole flow changed.
He blew up.
You know what I'm saying? So most of the time, when it all boils down, it's the trendsetter that is considered the GOAT versus the people who are falling in line of the trend.
Oftentimes, but if the trendsetter only gave me 2 albums,
and like he just retired.
But I mean, for Bo Jackson didn't just retire. He got a career-ending injury, so he didn't just retire because he didn't want to play no more.
Yeah,
he was forced out the game, right? Yeah. So from that standpoint, he was forced out the game. You know, I say Deion too, but it's a lot closer, and it has a lot to do with what Nevie said as far as the longevity, because Bo Jackson was a far better baseball player than Deion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Bo Jackson was an all-star baseball player. Like, bar none, he was one of the best baseball players and one of the best football players.
Yes.
Right? On the football field, I think Deion did more from a versatility standpoint, returning kicks, returning punts, playing wide receiver, playing DB, and playing the ultimate DB. Like, he was arguably the greatest in the history of the game.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
And I feel like if Bo Jackson would have played a lengthy career, he would have been arguably the greatest baseball player to ever play and arguably the greatest running back that ever played. But being that his career was so short and by a career in the injury, I can't say. Right?
So I think it's a gift and a curse. In that sense, I don't know why I use the term gift and a curse, but so let's keep this in mind. Deion and Bo play 2 different positions in football.
Right.
That's correct.
Right? And the average lifespan of Deion's position exceed the average lifespan of Bo's position.
Correct.
Okay.
Right? And so Bo exceeded the average lifespan of a running back, because the average lifespan of a running back is about 4, maybe 5 years, naturally. And Bo played maybe 7. Deion, on the other hand, the average lifespan of a cornerback can span in double-digit years.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, his longevity is going to be there because of the circumstance. Now, if you ask yourself the question, what if they both just played baseball and that's it?
Oh, well, Bo Jackson would have been far better than Deion ever.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Okay, so then I guess that's where the argument is the gift and the curse kind of. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's kind of like Saquon. He's a running back. He's gonna get touched every time he touched the ball. Well, he gonna get touched every time he on the field, because if he ain't running, he got to block.
Right.
Or he running for a pass or something. It's gonna cause him to get touched. And so I guess that longevity go a long way.
Right.
In football, but again, when you look at the positions, I think that's the difference.
But Bo really hurt himself playing baseball.
Because Bo was a beast.
Oh yeah, Bo was. Did y'all know Bo Jackson was faster than Deion? Bo Jackson ran a 4.1.
Deion ran a 4.1, 4.2.
Bo
was faster.
Bo was faster. Bo ran a 4.13. That means he almost ran a 4 flat.
Yo. Bo was a beast. I wanted to play football because of Bo. And I transferred from Indian River to Booker T, and when Bo got hurt, I lost all my interest in playing football. I stuck the track after that. I wasn't motivated.
Did you know Bo was one of the Super Friends?
Hey, but he was up there with some goats. You know?
So what that says what they thought about Bo at the time.
Yeah.
He was up there with Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, and who else was up there?
I think that was it.
That was it. Him, Wayne, and MJ.
Yo.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I can say is, and I was reading this earlier too. John Sally, he said, the NBA needed a face, so they sold Jordan, as if Jordan didn't earn.
He earned it.
Yeah, he earned it. I can't say that.
I'm gonna ask you this though before we move to the next one. Mm-hmm. Who had the better sneaker, Bo Jackson or Deion?
Whose sneakers still selling?
Originally, both of them still selling.
Deion still selling?
Yes, sir.
Listen.
They are.
when
they first came out, who had the best sneaker? I ain't talking about who's still selling. When they first came out in the 90s, would you rather have a pair of Bo Jacksons or Deion?
I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess. Because I couldn't afford either one of them, and I didn't have either one of them, but I'm going to say Bo.
It's tough, and I'm going to tell you why it's tough. Because when the Deion shoe first came out, especially the one with the scrap that came over and had the screen on it, you know what I'm saying? It was like innovative, you know what I'm saying? And then when the Bo came out, and no matter what, when you see that gray and black Bo, that gray and black Bo holds its own no matter what. Gray and black Bo holds its own against Jay's.
Against any shoe. Like Bo Jackson, I'm gonna give you some history. Bo Jackson and Deion was like my 1A, 1B shoe. Like I had every pair of Jordans, but I had every pair of Bows and I had every pair of Deion's. Right? That San Francisco Deion was a classic shoe. I can bring it out right now. And then when he came out with that same shoe and it was black and white.
Yeah, that Deion, that's why I say it was so innovative. And then he had two different kinds. Because he had one that was just a screen. He had one that was like a circle on the strap. And then it was a small screen on it. You know what I'm saying? And it was definitely a game changer.
Yeah, but Bo was my favorite. It was my favorite. Like, right. Only reason why I gave Bo the edge because he came out with them New York Knicks orange, blue, and white jump, and it changed the game. They still selling today though.
Yeah, no, Bo. When my wife Father's Day come around, I'm gonna get a pair of Bows or something like that.
I just gave my son
birthday. I'm getting a pair of Bows.
Easily. I can. Yes. I ain't getting Deion's right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think if Deion's was on sale right now, I'd be like, yeah, let me get them.
You'll get them 49 of Deion's right now.
Or them 49
of course.
I don't even remember how they look.
What?
I must have been less fortunate for a long time. For real. I must have been unfortunate.
These came out after you started getting money.
but see, your childhood plays a lot into what you come into. Cause
to what you take
I wasn't
serious.
used to nothing.
Right.
I really didn't want nothing.
You're like, yeah, nope.
Yeah,
I don't even want to look at it.
Yeah, I ain't really pay attention to it.
I ain't gonna lie, I was trying to get them. Every chance I could, I was trying to get them. Whether it was Bows or Deion's, I was trying to get them. And I could only get one at a time. But over time, they'll accumulate.
That's why now, I just redid my closet and I had over 50, 60 pair of shoes and I'm looking like, I don't wear them because I'm in work clothes the majority of the times, but I did it because I couldn't do it back then. So it's like, for real, it's like,
bruh.
You really, that's the Deion's.
Mm-hmm.
When they first came out, it was like,
I remember them.
Because they kind of look like the Huarache.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
The Huaraches,
It changed the game, though, because it had the goalpost on the tongue. Bro, look at them joints. Sorry. I can't help it. It made me think back. I was in like the 7th grade.
What year was those when they came out?
94.
Yeah, they came out about 94,
see,
95.
I was graduating from high school in 94.
Mm-hmm.
I was working at Hardee's on Campus Stella.
Ooh, you was getting a check.
It won't no Deion check though.
All right, so Stanley Cup. The Stanley Cup is here, just like the NBA Finals, and unfortunately, Guru, my condolences to the New York Rangers. They went up 2-0, and it was looking real good for them early, and unfortunately, the defending champions showed their true colors.
Right.
So, tell me who you got right now in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Well, if you look back, prior to the Yankees making the Eastern Conference Finals,
The Rangers,
yeah, Rangers making the Eastern Conference Finals, I had Tampa Bay and Colorado in the finals.
Okay.
Right. So I never had New York in the finals. Now, once we made it, I got it. I'm a Rangers fan.
Right.
So I got the rep, the mob. But these are 2-time defending champs. and they beat a team in a series that they hadn't beaten all year, right? In the New York Rangers. They hadn't beaten us all year, and they beat us 4 consecutive games, went up 2-0, and they won 4 straight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they're in the Stanley Cup Finals, and they're playing Colorado, another team that they haven't beaten all season. And Colorado is playing outstanding hockey, especially at home.
Yeah.
Right? So this should be a very fun and entertaining series. I think the edge kind of goes to the 2-time defending champ just because they have better goalie play. Like, Colorado claim to fame, they want to outshoot you and outscore you. They don't care about stopping the puck. They don't care about none of that. You score, we gonna score.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of not the way that Tampa plays. They kind of play more so we're going to defend and we're going to score, and we'll win 2-1. We'll win 3-1. We'll win 3-2. We're not trying to play no 6-6, 7-7 sudden death hockey game.
Right.
You know, Colorado don't mind playing that, right? So I think the edge goes to them because they got a better defense. But I like Colorado to win the series.
Hey, you switched it up on him, man. Hey, switched it up on him real nicely. Hey, he drew you over there and then brought you back over here.
I like Colorado to win the series, man.
I was talking to one of our followers, John, and he actually went with what you got. Ironically, he chose Colorado.
I kind of think John is like a baby guru in the making. I'm waiting for him to get to the show so I can make him into at least a Swami.
John said he said that Colorado is just too fast.
They are.
You know.
But I thought the same about the Rangers.
Yeah, absolutely.
We was fast. But we was just young.
I'm a person of experience. So you know, I'm gonna definitely go with Tampa Bay. Because experience go a long way, as you can see with Golden State and the Celtics. Experience make a substantial difference. And one thing that they got is back-to-back experience. You know what I'm saying? One thing John said is they played so many playoff games that they could have played a whole nother season in worth a game. So they got mileage, but as you saw in the Rangers series, that mileage don't matter right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, oh no, we'll see. I just learned throughout my experience that experience outweighs athleticism any day. So we'll see. I got the defending champs 3P. Nevie,
I'm with you. I'm of the same adage. Even though I don't follow hockey that much, but if I had to look at it from an ass rap standpoint, 2-time defending champions. Yeah, I'm gonna go with experience, especially if I'm coming in from the outside, not knowing much about it. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the defending champions. And did Colorado beat the Rangers?
Colorado was, I want to say, they had the best record in hockey.
Right.
Okay. So you would have to consider that. But when I look at the information that I've been given and what I've seen, I would go with Tampa Bay.
There you have it. Coming from the Guru, coming from Nevie, live and direct. Let's take a break. But coming up, you better believe we got the infamous overrated, underrated. And then we got rank 'em. We'll be back, BetMoorSports. Welcome back to the BetMoorSports podcast. I'm your host, Avery Fuller, with my co-host, Steve in Trapman Bay, a.k.a.
The Guru.
And we got Nevie Sessoms in the building, one of the go-to plumbers in the house. You better believe that one. And coming up, we got for you overrated, underrated. Let's get that party started right now. And the first team that we're going to talk about, we talking about NBA franchises. Overrated, underrated. First team we talking about is the New York Knicks. I'm going to go straight to that. Because, boy, they is probably the most valuable franchise in the NBA.
Yeah. Net worth.
But, Guru, I'm going to start with you because you're a New York Knicks fan. Hey, if you don't know, everything New York is the Guru.
You better bet it.
Overrated, underrated. New York Knicks.
Overrated.
Overrated. Nevie, who you got?
Overrated for sure.
Ooh, we overrated. And I'm gonna have to third what they talk about. The New York Knicks is definitely overrated because boy, I don't see them. I don't understand how they. Well, they're in New York, so
Yeah.
that's the only.
There's a
reason
lot of
why.
money in New
The
York.
basketball mecca.
Yeah,
Plain and
there's
simple.
a lot of money. I've been to Madison.
Madison, all right now. You gotta get you on the.
Jameson.
We might have to scare you back too. Now you in here acting like B. Trotman.
Hey, don't do that one.
Man, so he was in the attic.
He was a dad.
I was installing a water heater.
See how you turn that shit to business?
Exactly. You need a
That's a
water
skill
heater
set.
installed. He will go in the attic
Absolutely.
and Madison Square Garden at the same time.
Yeah. Next up, we got the LA Clippers. Overrated, underrated. I'm gonna start with you, Nevie.
I would say underrated. They done stepped their game up in recent years.
Okay, that's a valid point, but that's equivalent. That's not
Nothing.
equivalent to
Overrated.
They overrated.
They overrated.
So
People
they
ain't won nothing.
Lakers still the team in
They
LA.
love
Yeah,
bro.
but we're not talking about in comparison to the Lakers. We're
Right.
just talking about them and their franchise.
So we can't take that they were scrubs, and that now that they're not really scrubs.
They better scrubs.
They're right there.
But they had some winning seasons. They
Yeah,
did
but
better.
they ain't get, they had some championship quality teams and didn't
Yeah.
win the championship.
Yeah.
So that makes them
That make
overrated.
them overrated.
Yeah.
You don't get no.
Nah, because you got arguably like you had Doc had Chris Paul and the
They had Lob City.
Lob City
get-
and,
Yeah.
When you get a nickname,
and they was like they had the best record in the West a couple years and couldn't win in the playoffs at all. Nah,
Well,
you is overrated.
So nobody gets credit for doing better than what they
Yeah, you get
was
credit
doing.
for being a better loser.
right? Exactly.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna go for that. I can go for that.
If you come in second place, that means you're the first one to lose. All right, next up, the Lakers. I'm a Laker fan, so you better believe it. Guru, overrated, underrated.
Currently overrated.
Oh my God,
They living off the hype of the past, man. Like
we just wanted
that was in the bubble. I don't really. It's an asterisk besides all
Oh my
bubble
gosh.
championships.
Come on.
As an organization, right? They're rated where they need to be rated, but currently they are overrated.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree.
Of
I
course,
feel like they're underrated, and the reason why I feel like they're underrated is because, as a franchise, between them and Boston, they have 17 championships,
hmm
and the third team championships after them is 6. They are outperforming everybody and tied for number 1.
from a
So-
franchise standpoint.
Okay, all right.
We're speaking specifically the
Okay,
franchise.
I
right?
mean,
Okay.
I give you that.
So that's why I say it. I don't feel like that they could be rated or under or overrated. They have to be underrated because they're outperforming everybody. And it's the franchise that's doing it. It's not like it's like a specific set of players that's on the same team that's winning all the time. They're winning decades at a time. They're winning in every decade easily.
Hold it. Wait a minute.
Oh,
Because when I said the Giants won in every decade,
Wait.
you damn near had a fit.
It ain't that. Because your point of them winning every decade would have been valid if they was at the top of the food chain and they've been winning every decade. But if they won in 4 decades and they won 4 times, but the Patriots won 6, it's a difference.
But we got 9 championships total. So
Super Bowls, championships
that's
don't
what I'm
matter.
trying to say.
So
Like,
keep in mind, listen, this is another thing that John mentioned to me today that made a difference. John said championships are championships, but it should be based on Super Bowls because during the championship time frame, it was like 6 teams. So how can you count championships when it's 6 teams?
that's not totally true. However, I understand. where John is coming from, but that's not true. It was more than 6 teams.
Well, it wasn't as many teams in the Super Bowl era, and that's the difference maker. That's why you can't include the championships with Super Bowls because it would be considered unfair in the world of sports.
But they consider all the NBA championships even before the ABA merger, and that's the same as the NFL and the AFL merger.
Not the same thing.
It is.
It's
because there was not as many franchises prior to the merger of the ABA and the NBA.
all I'm saying is it's different because number one, football and basketball are two different things, right?
Totally
basketball
agree.
is played based on series championships.
Mm-hmm.
Winning multiple games in the championship as opposed to
One
winning
game. Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when it comes down to championships versus Super Bowl, it's easier to win a championship when it's 6, 8, 10 teams versus 28 teams.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I agree. Well, we got 9 championships, just for the record. But
He the only
person
keeping up with them championships.
You like the Lakers as being underrated. What you say, Nevie?
Yeah, I think right now, and I'm not looking at it as in the
keep in mind it's franchise based.
You saying franchise?
Don't let the man lead you as a witness. Don't badger the witness.
Listen, we ain't talking about players. We're talking about teams.
We talking about franchise. Don't badger the witness. Right now, the Lakers are overrated.
They're overrated. I do believe that.
Thank you, Nevie.
I do believe that.
We're not trying to argue with you. You got your point. We got our point. What's the next team?
Nevie, why you feel like the Lakers is overrated?
Well, just because what they put together, and it's supposed to be, this all-star team of veterans, and they didn't live up to what they put together.
Nevie is diminishing your point right there because
he's talking about the current roster.
Right, exactly.
I know that, and that's what I'm saying.
That's
I'm
what he's
only
basing
talking
on.
about recent, but if you're talking about overall, I mean,
17 championships.
You can't argue. The numbers speak for
themselves. That's why I say they was rated.
Yeah.
Where they need to be rated.
But
right now they're overrated because you keep talking about them and they're irrelevant. But it's the same conversation we had about the Cowboys, right? They are overrated because you keep talking about what happened.
I agree with that.
And we don't give a damn about what happened.
Nobody cares
we
about
care about what's going on now.
Absolutely.
Listen, I think it'll be different if we ain't won since COVID, but we have.
In the bubble.
Right, but everybody's in a bubble. It's not like just the Lakers in a bubble and they playing other teams everywhere else. Everybody is playing in that same bubble. So
I get that.
And I feel like, to be honest,
asterisk beside the bubble. There was no home court advantage, no crowd, no nothing.
And that stuff is a part of the game, but if you really think about it, and you're playing based on skill set, everybody had the same advantage and disadvantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to play based on their skill set and not relying on the crowd to guide them. And that kind of showed true colors in it.
But that goes a lot into the game of basketball.
But when you're taking out that context, if COVID changed that, then you got to play with what you got to play with.
Right, yeah,
Still an asterisk beside it, in my opinion. I understand what both of y'all are saying, but in my
I get it. It ain't they fault that COVID happened.
You just got to take some time out, man, and get the Lakers their flowers.
I gave them their flowers when Kobe and Shaq was there.
All right, so next team. What's going on and do it? We were just talking about them.
Another one.
The Boston Celtics. Overrated, underrated. I'm going to start with Nevie.
Living in the past.
They definitely underrated.
They underrated.
I mean, overrated.
Okay.
Overrated. I'm sorry. Thank you. Bring me back. Yeah, your reaction told me I said the wrong thing. Yeah, they definitely overrated. I don't see what they done. They ain't done nothing.
They tied with the Lakers with the most championships in the history of NBA basketball.
History, overall, they're tied. But from the time that they was tied, Lakers and the Celtics, what have they done?
Traded a bunch of people.
Celtics really ain't done nothing since the Bird era, except for when they brought the super team, KG. Right. And they only won with that team, and that team was...
That was it?
That's it.
KG.
They only
Pierce,
won one.
And Ray Allen.
Ray Allen.
That's
it.
Rondo.
Rondo.
They only won one championship with that team.
Oh, wait. You cannot forget Kendrick Perkins.
How could we forget?
Don't
Never.
can't forget KP.
He was the
Yeah,
MVP.
but
You can't forget KP.
I'm saying the same thing as the Lakers. They rated where they supposed to be, but they're overrated as of today's basketball. Like, I don't want to hear it.
Right.
Unless, I mean, if they win
I'm
a
with
championship
you.
this year, which they won't,
Mm-hmm.
then I might come back and revisit this conversation.
And I mean,
I'm with that.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? Based on your response, because you hold that asterisk against the Lakers in the bubble. You know what I'm saying? So I see it as Boston ain't won since Paul Pierce, and I
Right.
think Kobe has won after them, right? Am I wrong?
Kobe beat them. So, of course, he won after them.
Right. So all I'm saying is the Lakers has won many times after them, and they've been at a standstill. So, you know, it varies, man. But I got the Celtics as underrated, just like the Lakers, because of the distance between the amount of championships
Underrated?
that they won.
Right.
Yes,
I can go for that.
you know they are. Them and the Lakers are completely separate, and nobody is in pursuit of catching up with them.
They like
I
the
see
Yankees
what
to the
you're
rest of
saying. I see-
baseball.
Yeah.
Right.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see.
They're in a league
I
of their
see
own.
They're in
I
the
see
league
that.
of their own, exactly.
I can see that.
And so-
Overall,
Right.
Overall,
yeah.
and so I think that makes a substantial difference when we having this conversation. And you know who is right after them?
Golden State.
Golden State, baby.
Golden
It's the
State.
Warriors. Hey, the Warriors is playing now. Well, not right now, but this week they're playing. It's an elimination game tomorrow.
Tonight.
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Right.
It's on Thursday.
It's tonight.
It's tonight. You're right.
Tonight.
Can't even argue it. And you know, right now they got 6 championships tied with the Bulls, and this could put them at their 7th. So while they not anywhere near close,
They got 6 championships.
yeah.
Where the hell they get 6 championships
Well,
from?
keep in mind they got 4 right now. They
They
got
ain't.
2 more back in the day.
Hold
I don't know about that.
Fact check that.
Hey, listen.
I don't know about
Yeah, that I don't know.
Breaking news: the Rockets trade Christian Wood to Dallas.
Was that really necessary?
Hey, Christian Wood is going to be a substantial addition.
Was that really necessary?
But yeah, I think
Golden State got how many championships?
let me check.
I think they got 5. I want to say they got.
They ain't up there like that.
No, I want to say they got 4.
That's what rings.
Golden State got 6.
With the
47,
old
56,
joint.
75, 15, 17, 18. I knew I won't trip it.
You know what you
It
know,
was a good.
and I'm with you when you're right.
So if they win this one, then they gonna pass the Bulls.
And they're gonna be in third place.
They
I mean,
gonna
second
be in
place.
Third place.
Second place.
Third.
Well, they gonna be
You
in
got the
second
Celtics.
overall.
If
but
2 teams tied, then they tied for first.
Yeah,
Can't be a
yeah.
first and a second.
So they'll be second.
That'd be technically.
Technically.
technically, yeah, exactly. I feel like the Golden State franchise is rated. I feel like they rated. Well, no.
They kind of like the New England Patriots.
Right now they are.
New age.
Right. They kind of
running
done a
shit
lot.
now.
Right. Right now they've been to what?
Yeah.
6 championships
Out
in
of
the
8?
last 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
knock them people. As much as I
Nah.
don't want to subscribe to it or acknowledge it, them people's about their business.
Right.
I mean,
And I
You
don't
gotta
see them going
acknowledge
away
it.
no time soon.
yeah, they gotta acknowledge that.
Oh no, they gonna go away.
Yeah.
As soon as they get rid of Draymond Green, they gonna go away.
I don't think
Huh?
so, because you can replace Draymond, and then you got to
With a big
understand.
man,
But see, but then you got to understand they got Wiseman on the bench. That if Wiseman was playing, this series would have been over, in my opinion, because he a big that can shoot.
He a big.
You know what I mean? He would have brought Robert Williams out the paint.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
He can shoot, he
disagree,
can
but
rebound, and he can put the ball on the floor.
I
Yeah.
feel like it's a difference, right? Like kind of how Nevie said the first 2 games. Or was it you that said it? the first 2 games, Draymond Green did what he needed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Never said that.
And that's substantial to the series in general. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like that's kind of what he brings to the table. Even
You
though
need that person.
Listen, before the series started, did we not know he don't bring offense to the table?
He never brought offense to the table.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Right.
you know that.
But there's been a time with Draymond to get you at least
I agree with
10, 15,
that. I agree with
20
that.
points.
I agree with that.
But-
He
but-
done fell off.
But let's be realistic. Would it surprise you for Draymond to have 2 points, 8 assists, 10 rebounds?
No.
Nah, it
That's a
wouldn't. But
good
it
game.
surprises me when he have 2 points, 3 rebounds, and four rebounds and 3 assists and 6 fouls.
Yeah,
That surprises me. It surprises me when he have 2 points, 0 and 4. It surprises me. But those are the games that he's been having this finals.
And those are the games they've been losing.
Right.
Right.
So
No.
what if this happens? Because LeBron said he'd love to go play with Golden State. What if LeBron go play with Golden
man,
State?
come on.
And
We ain't entertaining
they
that.
put LeBron with Draymond there, and they got Wiseman, LeBron, Clay, Wiggs, and Steph.
They
What-
gonna lose.
No, man.
They gonna lose
They gonna lose.
to who?
No.
Listen. You know, one of the reasons why Russell Westbrook is not the level of player that he once was,
Why?
because he is not in a position to be. He has LeBron, who requires the ball.
Right.
He requires the ball. Everybody on the team at some point requires the ball. And when you are on a team like that, your natural reaction is to try to be unselfish and to get everybody involved, pass the ball, or defer, as they call it. Because this is LeBron's team. Everybody knows that. So he's going to defer to LeBron. Do you think he deferred to Bradley Beal? Do you think he deferred to anybody on?
But we talking about LeBron on the most unselfish team in NBA history.
That's the problem.
No,
Somebody got to
because
be selfish.
no, because Kevin Durant went there and they fit like a glove. So I feel like if you take Draymond or put LeBron in, this is what I said about KD before he went there. I said if you take Harrison Barnes out, put KD in, you have upgraded the position, right? So keep in mind, Draymond brings the ball up the court more than Steph Curry,
Okay.
right? So LeBron would be right in his natural habitat
Right,
as the point forward,
Right, you're 100%
right?
right.
And now you got Steph running off 1,000 screens. You got Clay moving around. You got Wiggs, and you got Wiseman. LeBron will be in heaven.
Right, that's because no matter who you pass the ball to, something can happen. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
And when you bring the ball up the court
You
9
gonna
times
get-
out of
you
10,
gonna
you're going to
get
be
attention.
1-on-1.
So every
Yeah.
defense has to be honest.
100% honest.
But I think if you take Steph and put him on the Lakers, not even me
Steph
being a
ain't say
Lakers
he
fan.
want to play for the Lakers, though.
Right,
LeBron
right,
said he
right.
want to play for Golden
He
State.
did say that.
But LeBron want to play for any day.
Anybody that'll take him.
Do you think Jordan?
You ever heard a superstar say something like that?
You think Jordan will ever say that?
Yeah, I never heard a superstar even entertain that question. I wouldn't even answer that question.
Listen, LeBron is LeBron. Man, listen, I just don't know what to say about LeBron at this point
Yeah.
because
I-
LeBron is seen. He act like he desperate, but he not. He don't gotta be.
No.
But he act
No.
like he is.
No.
know?
And my problem with that is you supposed to be a veteran. You supposed to be a G in this game to know not to even
Play like that.
Yeah, you
Right.
you don't let nobody. I don't
Right.
care what nobody asks me. I'm not answering that question.
Stay away from it. Good
My
Lord.
grandfather used to say it's a lot of truth in a little joke.
Yeah, it's a lot of truth in a joke. That's what I tell people. I preach that. People joke with you.
It's a lot of truth in a little joke.
They ain't joking.
That man serious. He want to get them rings, man, by any means.
Absolutely.
I don't know what he think it's gonna do for his legacy.
It ain't gonna
But-
do nothing for his legacy, but he,
He already known for buying teams and putting teams together.
One thing was certain: the Brownites will give you a reason why
Oh
that
my
was the
God.
best move LeBron could have made,
that's
and they will not say anything to challenge that man's integrity.
Well,
Also-
nobody wanted to acknowledge what KD did when he left OKC and went to.
I did, but I felt like at the time, and I kind of spoke to it before he made the move that KD going to Golden State, and everybody looked at me like, man, that don't make no sense. I say, just think about it. Harrison Barnes was the X factor in them losing that championship. He did absolutely nothing, right? So you got the best small forward in the game in free agency, right? And you got a team that is in desperate need of a small forward. It just made sense.
It was a perfect.
And you as a businessman, you got to understand that was the best business decision that KD could ever have made because it was going to add longevity to his career.
And see, I know I've been business the whole time I've been on the
Now you don't want to be business.
Now I want to be business. Now I'm want to be streets. Now I'm like, why would he do that?
Because it made all the sense in the world from a business standpoint.
Let me ask you this, Nevie. You do plumbing, right?
Yes.
Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you got 2 job offers, right? 2 people came to you. They got 2 jobs. Both jobs is going to pay you $1,000.
Okay.
Right? One job is to unclog the toilet.
Okay.
The other job is to run pipes under the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Which job you going to take?
I'm gonna stop that toilet. I'm gonna stop that toilet. Yeah.
From KD perspective, I get it because he gonna get paid regardless, no matter where he go. Golden State had the money to pay him, and what they said is, "Come here, we'll lighten your load.
Man.
We'll remove the pressure."
Let me tell you, I get it, but I'm a competitor. Ain't no way I'm gonna go from Booker T to Lake Teller track team.
Because Booker T track team was better.
Let me ask you something.
Right.
So why would you do that?
What I'm saying is, I wouldn't go if the Lake Teller Jim beat us all through the early 90s.
Let me ask you this. Would you go from Booker T to Lake Teller if Lake Teller had a scholarship offer to UVA for 4 years?
Okay. Okay, I gotta consider
what I'm saying?
that. I gotta consider that.
That's the.
So you're
the
saying the
difference
reward for going
right.
there?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the difference.
But what about the competitive? Can you live with yourself doing that?
Why not?
The people that beat you. I ain't going to Barrage Pop and click up with Molten Pop because Molten Pop beat us.
Not even
Right.
if Molten Pot say they're gonna pay you 10 times what you ever got.
That's why I go back to what I said. It creates a conflict of interest because we grew up in a different era.
Yeah, man,
we grew up in a different era, right?
Man.
So
I'm not doing
we got to understand now. We got to put the business hat on. We can't go back to the street era and the era where we grew up.
I know, and that's how I'm looking at it.
Because you didn't want to do that with the owners of the organization and the players, right?
KD
But you got to be frustrated with LeBron for going to play with D Wade and Chris Bosh.
If that's the case, because
You got to be frustrated with LeBron for going to play with Anthony Davis.
only difference is the same, unless is the only problem is they beat me.
Okay.
listen.
I had them 3-1. They beat me,
Right.
and I joined them.
I personally don't feel like that matter.
Ooh.
But see, all right,
I'ma tell you what.
and here go another point.
Ooh.
Anytime we went to Bayville, right? And I like to make this point. Anytime we went to Bayville or to Northside Park or to any park or any street court, we never looked at the court and say, give me the 4 players that's on the sideline. We wanted
The best.
Right.
Exactly.
So if D Nice, if Deion Sanders was on the court, if Michael Evans was on the court and they lost and it's 3 other people on the sideline, give me Mike and give me Deion. I don't give a damn about
I don't care
these
where
people.
they came from.
Right.
You won't pick
Because
your
I
damn
wanna
team
win.
until they
And you was a
lost already.
competitor.
Hey,
I want to win.
I get that, but I'm never going to the team that beat me. I'm never going to.
Would you pick the players off the team that beat you?
No.
Yes, you would. If we
No.
was out there and we just played, all right. And we and we just played the 16, right?
Game.
That's what I'm talking about. We
Talking
just
about
played
the
the
pickup
16,
game.
and them
In the
people
game.
beat us, and then they lose the next game. I want the same people that beat me that can ball.
I feel like they on a bigger scale than
Nah,
that.
they're not. It's still
listen,
competitive.
I know they're still competitive
It's
in the
still-
willingness to win.
It's still
but
business. If I could get paid and win, why wouldn't I get paid?
Everybody
I know,
wanna
it's
win.
Tough.
Why
It's
do I
tough.
want to make my job harder?
and lessen my workload.
Man,
Right,
I get it.
The definition
I
of
get
smarter, not harder, is
I know,
you know.
Work smarter, not hard. And I'm all with all of that.
That's why you keep buying all them new machines to make your job easy.
You're right.
Exactly.
You're right.
100%.
But I ain't going to work for no other plumbing company.
You shouldn't.
No, not at all. We ain't asking you to go work for another plumbing company.
I ain't switching sides.
But if the other plumbing company is
if it makes sense,
pay you,
if it makes sense,
if they gonna say,
it makes sense,
Nevie,
I'm gonna pay you more.
I'm gonna pay you more than you ever made in your life,
and you gonna win.
With us.
Or if another plumbing company say, hey, look, let me buy One Stop Plumbing for $1 billion right now today.
Yeah.
And you can still be Nevie Sessoms. You can say One Stop. It's been fun, but I gotta run.
Deuces. You got
to start, 2 stop.
Deuce. 1 stop, 2 stop, 3 step. I'm gone.
Oh man! All right, so we is down to the last 2 segments of the show, and we're gonna go right into it. Rank them. The first edition of Rank 'em is gonna be Power Forward edition.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to rank them from 1 to 4.
Okay.
The power forwards that we are ranking is going to be LaMarcus Aldridge, Chris Bosh, Amari Stoudemire, and Chris Webber. Nevie, I'm starting with you. Who you got?
Oh my goodness, this is tough, man. Yo, why y'all give these? Yo, I thought it would be easier, and I looked at them like, yo, I can't distinguish. I'm gonna say, LaMarcus Aldridge,
Okay.
Amari Stoudemire, Chris Bosh, and Chris Webber is a tossed up.
Oh, okay. All
That's
right.
pretty decent.
Guru, what you got?
I got Bosh.
Mm-hmm.
I got C Webb, Stoudemire, and I got LaMarcus Aldridge.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I got I got Chris Webber as my rank number 1, and then I got Chris Bosh, LaMarcus Aldridge, and then Amari Stoudemire.
Okay.
So that was a difficult pick.
Yeah, I didn't know which way to go, left or right with that one.
Hey,
Because all of them seemed mediocre to a stand.
To a degree, all of them was.
Yeah.
Like they was not, and that's why I made it so good because none of them was top of the pack.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
we usually do top of the pack power forward.
Yeah.
They was like,
When I looked at this, I was like,
yeah, but they was all, they was all
yeah.
quote unquote household names.
So
at one time.
where you think they actually rank? I mean, out of
all of them outside the top 50
Comparisons.
players of all time,
all of them outside the top
and all of
50.
them are outside of the top. I'm gonna say.
I would put Chris Webber in the top 75.
Would you put Chris Webber in the top 5 power forwards all the time?
No,
Me neither.
not at all.
I think I can name 10, 15 power forwards better than
Easily.
Chris Webber.
okay.
And I like Chris Webber.
Webber. Great, and I think he was good. He was good. But,
Hey, but we got one more.
Mhm.
We got one more, and that is 6-man. Rank them. Lou Williams, Manu Ginobili, Jamal Crawford, and J.R. Smith. Oh, yes. I love it. One more time. Lou Williams, Manu Ginobili, Jamal Crawford, and J.R. Smith. Guru, we starting with you.
Give me Manu, Jamal Crawford, Lou Will, and J.R. Smith.
Yeah. I'm going with I like Jamal, Ginobili, Lou Williams, and Jr.
Oh, wow. That is tough. I got Manu, of course. He going to be the number 1.
Rings
But then I got Lou Williams. And then I got Jamal Crawford and J.R. Smith.
Yeah, Jr. fourth on everybody's list.
I don't even know how Jr. got up there.
Listen, Jr. was a 6-man, but he's 4th because he missed that damn shot in the final.
I'm talking about, I don't even know how he made the 6-man list. Because he's been a starter most of his career, and he was never like all of those other guys was kind of like 6-man of the years at one point in time.
Yeah, absolutely. But I thought J.R. Smith was a 6-man.
Yeah, I don't think he never won 6-man of the year.
No, he
but
never won that.
He might have been.
But he was a 6-man for majority of his career, as opposed to him being a starter for most.
Yeah, he should have been
You should.
Tough,
Shouldn't have
man.
been a competitor.
Hey.
Man's a lifetime meme right now.
He gotta live with that rebound.
J.R. My man. That was my man, though. I like J.R. though, man.
Hey, I like him better now though, cause he
golfing.
he getting educated and he's playing
and
golf.
he's in the
you know?
SBU.
That he's representing us the way he's supposed
That's
to.
right.
So that's greatly appreciated. All right, so coming up next, we got the Guru's pick of the day. We'll be back. BetMoorSports. And now it's the Guru's pick of the day.
The Guru's pick of the day is the Philadelphia Phillies money line minus 170 on the money line. Zach Wheeler on the mound. The Phillies have beaten Washington at least 5 straight, and all 5 have gone over the total. So take Zach Wheeler and the Philadelphia Phillies minus 170. Take everything you can beg, borrow, and steal, and put it on Zach Wheeler and the Philadelphia Phillies.
And that's the game. Hey, if you don't know, now you know. If you've been keeping up with these podcasts, then you would know that the Guru is right. At least 90% of the time.
About 98.
Oh, 98.6.
Actually 14-2.
You better believe it. So, I don't know if y'all paying attention, but you might want to. And in the meantime, listen, I just want to say, listen, it's been so much great information taking place today in this podcast. I have learned a ton between the Guru and Nevie. It's been substantial, if that makes sense. So, hey, I'm going to turn it over to the Guru and let him do his thing.
As always, man, we appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate Nevie for stopping by, but Nevie is doing big things in the community, man, not only with the plumbing, but with the nonprofit organization and a few other things. So I'm going to give this opportunity, because if you haven't realized by now, what we do here at BetMoorSports and the BetMoorSports podcast is we kind of allow those who are doing positive things in the community that have knowledge of sports to come in and use the platform to kind of promote and reach out to the community, because these guys can assist you in all different type of areas. So we're going to allow Nevie to introduce his businesses and introduce his services to the community.
All right. If you don't know by now, I'm Nevie Sessoms, owner operator of One Stop Plumbing. I started One Stop Plumbing in 2005. I've been in business over 17 years. Owner operated. We have over 3,000 clients under our basic client base and our client list that we service. And One Stop Plumbing is just a pillar of what we do. One Stop Plumbing funds a lot of other things that I do, and one of the things that I do is I have a nonprofit called One Stop Essentials, which is an extension of One Stop Plumbing, where we do back to school drives, we do homeless drives, we do outreach, we do financial literacy. Something that we're trying to get into is financial literacy and basically teaching the youth about financing and business and everything in that standpoint. I have multiple businesses where I own probably about 5 real estate properties. I own about 3 businesses. One where I do an outreach to the youth that's that's aging out of foster care and age 18 to 21. That business is in Richmond, and here in Hampton Roads, I own the plumbing company. I just currently opened a trucking company where basically we work in trucking, and we doing exports and imports. So basically it's just more so about just basically it's not where you start, is where you finish. I've done time in federal penitentiary, and before federal penitentiary I I wasn't living up to my expectations and to my abilities. And after that experience, I came out and I took what I learned, the reading and the studies that I did while I was in there, and then I said that when I came out that I was going to maximize and use my time wisely, and that's why I've created over, $1 million worth of business every year in what I do and all that I have going on. So, that's my thing. What it is not basically what I do is basically more so like each one teach one, and anybody that I can help, reach that plateau, I'm willing. And that's why I have multiple streams of income, and that's why I understand that multiple streams of income is important. You're not gonna get rich or successful by working a 9 to 5. 9 to 5 is all good. I did it for years, and that's cool. I'm not knocking that. It's all good. And then a lot of people will try to tell you that, working a job is bad. Everybody can't be a business owner.
Right.
It's not for everybody. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with success and business ownership and entrepreneurship. So I'm not trying to discourage anybody, but it ain't for everybody. So, if that's what you into, I aspire and basically recommend to everybody, whatever that you trying to get into, you work that business for somebody else before you try to jump into it.
Right.
You have to fund your dreams somehow.
Right.
None of where I come from was born with the means to have their own business.
Right.
You had to work for somebody. You had to work that business, learn that business, and master that business in order to have your own business. A lot of people think is, just open a business and, just be successful. I don't like those odds. Those are like the odds of making it to the NFL.
Right.
You have to work the business, you have to learn the business, and then master the business. And the only way you can do that is to be employed by a business. And I know a lot of, this generation is, I want to be the boss.
Everybody can't be the boss.
Everybody can't
That's
be.
just
Right.
how it goes.
Everybody can't be
But
the
everybody,
boss.
I mean, let me rephrase that because I don't like to sound like that. But everybody can be the boss. However, that's not how the world was designed, right?
Right.
They are bosses and they are workers for a reason, and we gotta kind of learn to respect each and every one individual. Right?
I like to use the sports analogy, right? There's coaches and then there's role players.
Right.
There's stars, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I think the moment you learn to embrace your role as a role player,
Yes.
the sooner
Right.
you become a star.
And some people want to be more than what they are.
They're trying to be stars from the gate,
Exactly.
and that ain't what they built for.
And that's not what you got to find your role. And I have no problem with people have to understand that is the reason why there's more workers than it's bosses.
Absolutely.
Right.
It wasn't meant for everybody to be a boss.
It wasn't.
Find your place, embrace your place, and excel in your place. And ain't nothing wrong with it. Just because you own a business doesn't mean that you're successful.
Absolutely not.
Entrepreneurship is not the only barometer for success.
Right. But you also like the guru in stocks, right? People don't know that you're a stock guru. I'm a sports guru, and you're a guru
He
in
just released
stocks.
the secret.
Exactly. He didn't want to share that part. He's a guru in stocks.
Okay.
So he's somebody that you definitely want to look up. Which give the people your social media platforms where they can look you up.
Well, you can find me. I don't. You know what the thing is? My social media platform. I don't. I'm out there, but you can find me under Nevie Sessoms.
You got a one-stop.
I got a one-stop plumbing
right. Uh-huh.
page where I have my plumbing stuff.
You don't got a website?
For what? Plumbing?
One Stop.
Yes, I do. And it's www.dripdripdrop1stop.com. You can hey, that's trademark.
Hey,
that's copyrighted. That's stamped.
We're gonna put that in the what they call it. We're gonna put that in the bio.
Yeah.
You know, dripdrop1stop.com.
That's correct.
Boom.
And we've been in business over 17 years. I did this. I came out of prison 2004. I came out in July. The first week I went for job interviews. I found a job on that Friday. I was at work that Monday, the Monday after I got out, and I've been working ever since then. I worked at the company that I worked in for like 2-3 years till they started to unappreciate me, and I had to show them that they wasn't the business, I was the business.
Right.
And they forgot about that. And I started my own business. I've been in business 17 years after that. So it's not by chance.
Well, from what I'm saying, Nevie, you the definition of each one teach one, and it ain't where you start. It's all about solely where you finish.
Absolutely, man.
So, hey, with that said, we appreciate you.
Definitely, man. Appreciate you.
It's been a great show, for sure.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Hey, look, your insight is that at a different level of other guests, so that's greatly appreciated by far. And you better believe dripdrop1stop.com. Make sure that you go up there. Hit them up, Nevie Sessoms on Facebook, Instagram. We have an Instagram page. Personally, we have a One Stop Facebook. Instagram page. LinkedIn. We're all over. We ain't new to this. We true to this. And what's the nonprofit called?
The nonprofit is called One Stop Essentials, and that came about because I guess I was on my Nino Brown shit, and my wife told me that, nigga, you ain't Nino Brown. We need to do more than passing out turkeys on Thanksgiving.
Right.
And she said we need to formalize this thing and do something more.
Make your presence
feel more, because you're not a ghetto celebrity.
Right.
You need to do more
and
make it formalized, and that's how we formed One Stop Essentials. And it was because of her that said, hey, you need to do more than coming out Diz Park passing out turkeys. And then we've impacted. This is like our 7th or 8th year doing back to school drives. And we do it at Lafayette Park, and we do a whole thing, and we send to hundreds of students every year.
Right.
We do back to school drives, homeless drives. We do it all.
If somebody want to donate, how can they get in touch, or how can they reach out?
You can find us on Facebook, or Facebook on One Stop Essentials. Just search One Stop Essentials, and it'll send you to our page, and it'll have a site where you can donate and do donations and stuff like that. Because all of this is basically off of me and my wife and our board members. Most of the time, all the events are funded by us.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, man, listen. Once again, shout out to Nevie Sessoms. Shout out to One Stop Plumbing. Shout out to One Stop Essentials. Of course, shout out to the Guru, because, the Guru brought that significant insight that we need to the table. And you better believe, if you did not take in the Guru's pick of the day, you might want to. I'm just saying, hey, even if you bet $1, you get $2 back. With that said, hey, that's the show for the evening. And I just want to say it once again, thanks for tuning in. I hope y'all enjoyed this great content. And with that said, hey, BetMoorSports, we are out of here this week. Peace.
Till next time.
You better believe it. We appreciate you.